By the end of this video, you will know what hypothalamic amenorrhea is and what might be going on if your period suddenly stopped. Now, clicking on the subscribe button and turning on the notification bell will encourage me to create more valuable videos like this one and also help other women find this video. I trust you are going to help me achieve these goals. Hypothalamic amenorrhea is the clinical diagnosis for a woman in whom menstrual periods have been absent for 3 months or more and where no other organic or medical explanation is found. It is one of the most common causes of secondary amenorrhea. So what this looks like is that you started your period, you see it, and it comes out very well, but suddenly you started having irregular periods. Then you started spotting whenever you see your period and you are confused if it's a period or not, and then eventually your period stopped. This has lasted for months, even years, and you are not in your menopausal age. Now, it is important we see how the menstrual cycle works and put the spotlight on the hormone that starts the whole process of menstrual cycle and see where this hypothalamic amenorrhea is coming from. The menstrual cycle is the female reproductive system in which several physiological processes interplay in order to maintain the right hormone level to enable conception and pregnancy. The median length of a typical menstrual cycle is 28 days, with the first day of bleeding being day 1 of the cycle. Ovulation occurring on the 14th day and the next menstrual cycle starting on the first day of the next bleeding. These 28 days are divided into 3 phases. Day 1 to day 13 make up the follicular phase. Day 14 is the ovulation phase, and day 15 to 28 is the luteal phase. The menstrual cycle is controlled by the hormones released by the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, and the gonadal glands, in females, the ovaries, which all work together through positive and negative feedback mechanisms. This system of complex interactions is referred to as the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, HPG axis. The onset of a new menstrual cycle starts with the hypothalamus releasing gonadotropin-releasing hormone, GnRH. This hormone in turn makes the pituitary gland release follicle-stimulating hormone, FSH, and luteinizing hormone, LH. FSH then stimulates the growth and the maturation of follicles in the ovaries. When follicles grow, estrogen is produced until a certain level is reached, causing LH to surge to a peak, and ovulation takes place. And progesterone is produced, and when the egg is not fertilized, the uterine lining is shed, and you have your period, and you start the whole process all over again. In order for the menstrual cycle to function properly, so that ovulation can take place and conception can occur, the HPG axis with all its feedback mechanism and interaction must be in tune. There are several factors that may affect the release of GnRH from the hypothalamus and thus interfere with the normal functioning of the HPG axis. They are low energy balance, low energy availability, low body fat percentage, and psychological stress. Each one of these factors alone may be responsible for the disruption of menstrual cycle as they pose a threat to the woman's reproductive system However, the degree to which the body responds to these threats is individual and varies among women. For some women, the presence of these factors alone may be sufficient enough to cause the HPG axis to shut off, while in others, this does not happen until several of the above mentioned factors come into play. When the body reacts to stressors, a bodily stress reaction takes place, causing activation of the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, the HPA axis, which is made up of the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, and the adrenal glands. Through interactions and feedback mechanisms, the HPA axis is responsible for the bodily stress reactions and regulates several body systems, one of which is the reproductive system. Activation of the HPA axis causes several stress hormones to be released, including the corticotropin releasing hormone CRH, the cortisol, and prolactin, and so on. CRH directly inhibits the secretion of GnRH and thus causes a cessation of the menstrual cycle. Okay, now you know what hypothalamic amenorrhea is and what may be going on if you have been diagnosed to have this condition. Your hypothalamus is very important, and when it is working very well, you produce the right level of GnRH, which is responsible for the proper functioning of your menstrual cycle. So you need to start looking at the factors that may be affecting this hypothalamus. We talked about the low energy availability, low energy balance, issues with your body fat percentage, and then psychological stress. You need to start looking at these factors one after the other and then know how you can recover from them. Don't worry, in my next videos I will be talking more about this and how you can get back your period and start having your period regularly again.